What's up, everybody? Krakenol here, and we're just banging them out back to back to back. We never stops during preview season, so here's this screen right here. Just asking for you guys to help me grow the channel. Subscribe, like, comment below. Let's get this thing going. These things are crazy. So these are the two Commander products coming out. It's the same deck except for there's these four decks: Doom, Fantastic Four, like this Avengers Assemble, and then Wakanda Forever, and then there's like the Surge foil bundle, which is like every card in there's a Surge foil. Pretty cool if you're like an avid collector. If you just like really want one of them, like I'm kind of thinking about getting the Doom Prevails in the um, collector's edition. It will make it kind of harder going forward if you don't have like all foils for your deck or like Surge foils, but I think it's just worth picking up one if you're really into the deck. I just want to preface and say this again. I've said in a couple of my other videos. These are the previous Secret Lair commanders. They were kind of hard to come by. They sold out quickly. They're still a little expensive to buy the things, but now they're reprinting them. They will be in play boosters. A little rarer, obviously, than a collector booster, but they will be in play boosters. So this should bring the price down, and it helps get these commanders in people's hands. Notably, like Titan of Invention and Captain America: First Avenger are like really powerful. No, they all of them except for Black Panther, so pretty darn good. All right, so they showed off two of these, kind of like we'll go over them a little more, but they showed off the Doom Prevails and the Wakanda Forever. I did note that I forgot to talk about the heart-shaped herb, so I'll kind of just go over that one real quick. 4 mana. If an opponent controls would deal damage to you, prevent one of it. You can sacrifice the herb. You may uh, sacrifice the herb, sacrifice the creature. If you do, return a card to the battlefield under its owner's control with 3/1/1 counters on it, and you become the monarch. That's pretty cool. It's like creature protection. Um, save your Shuri, save your T'Challa, and then it comes back bigger, and you become the monarch. I always like when monarch gets introduced into Commander. All right, so first we're going to go over the Doctor Doom King of Latveria Grixis deck. They've showed quite a lot of support for this, just like in the main set. So I'm curious how much of the main set gets brought into the Precon, and then what other cards they print, since they typically print, what, like 6+ new cards for these, along with the reprints. One blue, black, red, Grixis colors, human, noble, villain. Whenever you discard one or more land cards, each opponent loses 2 life. In the beginning of combat, on your turn, target villain you control gains menace to end turn, and it connives. So you're getting to draw a card, discard a card, and if you discard a land, you get to burn them. If you discard a non-land, you get to put a 1/1 counter on it. A lot of villains in the set that kind of self-trigger, connive, or when you draw a second card per turn, you get to do something which connive triggers. It's just very well synergetic. I kind of was against the red in Doom for a little bit. I'm starting to warm up to it. I do think Esper kind of fits better because like white, he thinks what he's doing is like just kind of like Thanos does, but he is very chaotic, so I guess red does fit him well. They showed Lady Loki, Agent of Chaos, 5 in a red, 5/5 legendary creature, god sorcerer villain. Whenever you cast your first instant sorcery or villain spell each turn, exile it, and then exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land. Lady Loki deals damage to each opponent equal to the difference between that spell's mana value and the non-land card's mana value. Then you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So it's very weird. So it's like every first card you cast that is an instant sorcery or villain. So you can cast non-villains and it won't trigger. But if you cast like a cheap instant, for example, it won't resolve because it exiles, and then you exile cards to top of your library until you reach the difference, and then you can pay that one for free. So you could kind of like, it's almost like a Chaos Orb on a stick in a way. A little, you don't get to like just rant, shuffle, and flip. You kind of just look at the top. Uh, I mean, I think it's probably decent in the Doom deck. I don't think I would run this as a mono red face commander, but who knows? somebody with a bigger brain than myself might comment down below some of the crazy combos or things you can do with her. Please do so. Enlighten me. This was the like secondary face card of the deck. Loki the Deceiver, 1 blue, black, red, 4/4 legendary creature god sorcerer villain. Fantastic art. Whenever Loki attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another target villain you control, except it isn't legendary, and it's an illusion in addition to its other types. And then you sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. Whenever one or more villains you control deal combat damage, draw a card. So it's only 1 card draw per turn, but it triggers like some of the extra card draw things in the Connive deck. I still think I'd rather run Doom as the main commander, but people do love their copy commanders. King Prime, 3 blue black, for 35 human villain. Whenever King Prime enters or attacks, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Put 2-time counters on it, and if it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. I can see people playing this in just like suspend decks in general. I think it goes well in the 99 also of the Doctor Doom deck. Sick art, and it's King, so it's kind of cool to see King have justice done. We move on to T'Challa, the Black Panther, 1 green and a white. Whenever he enters or attacks, create a tap Vibranium, which is basically like a power stone. Whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 4 or greater, put 2/1/1 counters on him. I talked about him a little one day in the other Precons video. I just think he doesn't have a payoff for growing. Like, yeah, you're like ramping with him, but you don't have a payoff for him growing. Like, he doesn't have first strike, he doesn't have an ability that you can remove counters like the one from the secret layers, etc. I do think, however, Shuri is the better face commander, and then T'Challa goes inside. Shuri is green and white, lifelink. Whenever Shuri attacks, draw a card. If you control 3 or more artifacts, then draw a card if you control 3 or more. Then if you control 6 or more artifact creatures, you get 2/2 until the end of turn. I kind of think she's like the better face commander. I mean, honestly, you probably play the secret layer one, and then this one and the Shuri go in there. But if you don't have the secret layer one, I feel like she's better. Then Okoye, mighty and adored, 2 green white, 3/3 human warrior hero. When Okoye attacks, you become the monarch. Awesome that they brought monarch and they put it in like the Wakandan deck. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Whenever that creature attacks the monarch this turn, whenever that creature attacks the monarch this turn, it gains double strike and trample. So you kind of want to like give away the monarch just to get stronger creatures. But the monarch is powerful. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Storm, Queen of Wakanda, 3, a green and white. This is awesome cut because Aurora and T'Challa got married in the comics. The flying, whenever Storm attacks until end of turn, another target attacking creature gains flying and gets Exo, where X is the number of Storm's power. So whenever a creature with flying attacks you, Storm deals damage equal to her power to this creature. So she's very anti-flyer. You know, I don't know what I would do with this card. I'd put her like in a couple green white decks just in general because she stops flyers from attacking into her. One, she can block with them, but then she also does her power to them as they're attacking, so they're already coming into battle wounded per se. All right, then next we move on to the Captain America Team Leader deck. It's red, white, and blue because Captain America, legendary creature, human soldier, 3/3. Whenever another hero you control enters, it gains vigilance and haste until end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter on that hero, and it gains a 1/1 counter on Captain America. We talked about this one. I mean, it's kind of like a good hero payoff. It grows the board. It's kind of like I noticed what like just heroes in general do in this set, and it looks like it's in the commander set as well, where it's just like 1/1 counters swarming the board. So Avengers Assemble, you know. Um, Director Nick Fury is blue, red, white. They put the coloring back. 2/4 human spy hero, but I think this one's better as the commander personally. It's a better hero payoff because it's reducing the cost of your heroes. And then whenever you attack, look at the top 4 of your library. You may reveal a hero from among them and put that card on your hand and put the rest on the bottom. So it's also selection also. So I think he's the general, and then you got this cap, the other cap, all the other chess guy heroes in the deck. Iron Man Armored Avenger, 3 and a blue, 2/2 legendary artifact creature, human hero, flying. When you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Whenever Iron Man attacks other modified creatures, so modified as auras, equipment, counters, gains flying. Obviously, with this one, you're getting the 1/1s to modify. So basically, all your creatures that are 1/1s are now flying as well. So it's Tony's putting like a suit of armor around all of them, as you can see in the art, which is pretty cool. Plenty of ways to like draw a card, put a 1/1 counter target creature. So there's infinite combos there. I almost guarantee. Captain Marvel Apex Avenger, 5 red white, legendary creature, human Kree hero, flying, double strike, indestructible. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on another creature, if it's not Kree, you may put the same number of counters on Captain Marvel. So she grows quick. There's not going to be that many Kree in the deck, I'm sure. There might be a couple, but not that many. So every time they grow, she's growing more. And then she's also got double strike, indestructible. So she's pretty strong, but I would 7 mana is a lot of mana. But Nick Fury reduces it, but not by much. Hopefully, there's other reducers so you can get her down quicker. The Vision Synthesoid Avenger, 4 colorless robot hero flying. Whenever a player casts a spell, if it isn't that player's turn, choose 1/1 counter on Vision, and her Vision phases out. So he's very sticky, flying, can protect himself, can put equipment on him or auras on him, and save your equipment auras too. Like if anybody does like an artifact wipe or destroys X, you can just phase him out as long as you have a or as long as you cast a spell. Whenever you player casts a spell, if it's isn't that player's turn, so that's you as well. If it's their turn and they're trying to destroy your board, you cast a spell. You can choose to phase him out and protect everything attached to him. Pretty sweet. Lastly is the Fantastic Four. I kind of jumbled them together. We've gone over them before, but basically all of them are 4-color: red, green, blue, white. They all have an ability that you pay that to do, and they all have at the beginning of combat something. Mr. Fantastic Vigilance Reach, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. And then he's got tap, copy target triggered ability you control twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Pretty sweet. Triggered abilities. So some of these things that the other ones do, or what he does. Invisible Woman, 2 and blue. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a 0/3 colors wall with Defender and Reach. Whenever you attack, you may pay the red, green, white, blue. When you do, target creature gets 1/0 at the end of turn for each creature you control, and it can't be blocked. And that one seems a little weak to me. I mean, her creating the colorless walls is cool. And colorless because invisible. 3 and a red, Human Torch, 3/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, he gains flying, double strike, haste until the end of turn. And then when he attacks, you may pay the red, green, white, blue. If you do, until the end of turn, he deals combat damage to opponent. He deals it to each other opponent. So he's got table wide, which I think he's one of the stronger ones because you can give him the flying, double strike, and haste. Pump him up with some of the other things in your deck, and then just close out the game by attacking the entire board. And the most expensive one, but I think the one that closes out the games the quickest when he's on the board, is the Thing, 5 and a green, 5/5, trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell, you get 4 1/1 counters on the Thing. Whenever the Thing attacks, you may pay red, green, white, blue. When you do, double the number of counters on each counter on target permanent you control. So he just goes from 4 to 8 to 16, etc. This one's also in the deck: red, green, white, blue. Fantastic Four, human hero. Whenever Fantastic Four enters, and whenever you cast a spell with the power and toughness of mana 4, you get to choose one that hasn't been chosen, and we talked about this one already. Like it goes 4, 3, 2, 1, which is kind of cool. You get the wall, you get the damage, you get the counters, and then you draw a card, which is kind of reminiscent of what you're pulling off of these. But that's it, guys. That's all. That's what they've showed us so far. Next week, starting Monday, I believe the 8th is when they're starting to do all the Commander Precon. So we'll kind of make a follow-up video. We'll probably make one video per Precon, just kind of breaking down the deck list, some adds and removes, and kind of going into that more. I'd like to see what you guys want or most excited about in the comments down below. Which deck are you looking forward to? Is there a face counter that you're looking forward to more than the secondary commander, more than you're looking at for the face commander? If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.